Hey everyone, welcome to Build Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in pop culture. I'm Brittany Jones-Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Woo! Today we're going to talk about Cardi B's lavish lifestyle and a viral influencer's engagement that's reportedly turning out to be a marketing stunt. Plus, Kinky Boots director and choreographer Jerry Mitchell joins the table, but first,
guys, summer's heating up in the new season of Stranger Things. Netflix has dropped an action-packed trailer for the hit series, which shows the town of Hawkins, Indiana, preparing to protect their world from new monsters from the upside down. Take a look.
It is important to me that you feel safe. I want you to feel like this can still be your home. Happy 4th of July!
wait, what?
Like, obviously, I don't watch this show because if you watch our show, you know that I don't like scary things.
Right.
But that trailer looks really good.
This isn't
Yeah.
a scary show, but I did
I don't know,
stop
that looks
watching
really
it.
scary.
Scary for Brittany.
Right.
Brittany thinks everything is scary.
I do.
It's sci-fi scary. I mean, the first season of the show was so incredible, blew my mind, and I was so impressed by the Duffer Brothers who created it and by Netflix and the people on it. And in season 2, I thought did a really good job.
I didn't watch season 2.
Well, I just
Oh,
really.
yeah, why not?
I watched the first couple episodes, but then I started
to-
hooking up with someone, and you know how that gets exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the
you
beginning.
just, yeah.
Oh.
So you just stop all of your interests.
Yeah.
Wow, I always prioritize TV and film over
Yeah.
my hookup.
Over that
I do
fun,
too, actually.
free fuck energy.
No, I usually am like, stop this sex. Stranger Things is
Like,
on.
but real talk, sometimes if we're trying to watch something, I'm like, well, I actually want to finish this. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
get
like
really
in
into my
Bridesmaids when
TV.
she's like, can I watch Jeopardy once without you entering me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
struggle.
I more identify with Shannon where I prioritize my TV watching. Season 2.
And you're a virgin.
And I'm a virgin still, so I don't know if those relate at all. But season 2 did a really great job because it's really hard for a high concept show to come back and especially come back strong. I think it did a good job. So this season, I'm really excited for it, but also anxious because for a third season to be really good for a show that deals with all this like aliens and sci-fi. Last season there was possession and so I'm very anxiously excited.
Yeah, I'm curious how much of this takes place in like a supernatural world and how much of it is like actually in this normal town.
It's
Is it like a mix?
It's like probably like 60-40, like
Yes.
40 in the dark
Okay.
world, like 60 in the real world.
I don't
Right.
understand.
It's
Okay.
pretty good and there's good crossover.
The upside
I'm
down.
mostly excited, yeah. I'm mostly excited for it being 1985 and there's like now the whole like malls are becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's just gonna be so much more, even more beautiful. I think it's a really beautiful show, but like to have the neon lighting with the pinks and the
Yeah.
purples, that's like my favorite
Bisexual lighting.
aesthetic.
Right.
So,
Well, the 80s nostalgia. is
That's
part-
bisexual lighting.
yeah. Or pansexual.
Or pansexual.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pink and blue.
Cool. Yeah, the 80s.
Be an ally.
Yeah, the 80s nostalgia is really cool in the show, and that's part of why, like, if you watch The Goonies, it's like
Yeah.
reminds you of that, but also all those other really fun shows and like the different pop culture references. And with, it's been 2 seasons since the last season, and the kids have grown up quite a bit, but I think only takes place a year after season 2 ended, or the summer after.
Yeah.
Wow, is that Steve with the shirt off as a lifeguard?
No, that's actor Jackie Montgomery, and I'm really excited to see his role in this next season because last season he's just kind of like an older brother. He's a bully character, but we didn't really dive into like his background and what's driving him. But I think in this season we're actually going to see a storyline that's just his.
Right.
From at least the trailers hinting towards him having a way bigger role and meaning. So I'm excited to see him because he is a very toxic character.
Horrible how he treats his younger sister.
Yeah,
Horrible.
he's the worst.
It really is funny when you watch shows that like are a cast of all young children and like over like 3 seasons they're all just like popping boobs and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, you guys are getting so big. Like Millie Bobby Brown's like a woman.
She's like married
And when
with 3
she started
kids.
out, she was like a toddler.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think that 2 years in between seasons is just insane? Like, we keep having to deal with this as viewers, and I'm like, these kids look 10 years older now.
They're right, they
Well,
totally
they
do.
could
But
have
that's
filmed this
normal for like the kids at that age.
Right, but they
Yeah.
could have filmed this a while ago. It does make me think of the Harry Potter cast, and they kept getting older.
God.
Especially in Game of Thrones, and Bran hit puberty hard.
Yes.
That season 4, wow, did he come back with? He had a voice going up and down.
He had a
Like
little
the
mustache.
three-eyed raven.
Yeah, exactly. It gets rough, but that's part of the deal. Is why I'm sure we all have taken TV classes. They say don't write a pilot with kids in it
Right.
or animals because kids are gonna get old. It's gonna be hard to deal with them, whatever. But what was so exceptional about this show is that the cast of kids were so good
Yeah.
that I'm so glad they did make it center around these group of youngsters.
Even though they're all 45 now. But okay.
All 45. Yeah.
Well, you guys, in other news, Cardi B is flaunting her money moves. The rapper recently revealed that she plans to drop an excessive amount of cash on her daughter Culture's first birthday party. Take a look.
Yo, for Culture birthday party, no lie, I'm spending about 400,000. 400,000, and it's like, damn, 400,000 for a birthday party, but that's because this is her first birthday party, and shit costs. But after her first birthday party, next birthday party I'm throwing her is gonna be in my fucking backyard.
Where it should be for the
Right.
first birthday party. Literally, all babies want to do is like eat things and puke it up. So it's like, why would you spend $400,000?
I don't know, for yourself. You're throwing a party for yourself
Right?
and your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not for culture.
Yeah, no, it's not for culture.
I mean, I guess it's been a really big year for her, so I get the desire to spend money. I think she also bought Culture $80,000 worth of diamonds, which those last forever. So I see that
That's
a little
an
bit more.
investment.
That's an investment, and that Culture can have a set of jewelry. Like I get that, but yeah, this is ridiculous. Reminds me of when the Housewives Beverly Hills, when she gave a $70,000 birthday party for her 7-year-old. Like it's ridiculous. These kids will not remember
But
anything you
400, like what are you spending
Right.
money on? Like how many bouncy houses, how many clowns, how many cupcakes? Like how do you spend that amount
don't
of money?
know.
do. The cotton candy must have like gold infused in
I
it.
guess she's
whatever.
renting out a space.
Yeah,
Okay.
she must be giving every kid like amazing
DJ.
party favors too, like little
Food, I
cars.
could spend it.
Allie's like, I
could
could-
throw the party.
We rent out the
It's a
Empire
lot
State
of money
Building.
though, and Cardi B has recently been indicted.
Yeah, on 14 different charges for that strip club fight that she got into, which she actually refused a plea deal back in October. So now that means that she has to sort of face the music, and she probably will have to go to trial. Some of these charges are like assault, reckless endangerment. It doesn't look great because it does sound like she had some responsibility in the fight. The fight was allegedly over this woman who she thought was sleeping with Offset. So it all kind of sprung from that and then got really big. So she definitely has probably some fault in it, which is I don't know why she wouldn't take a plea deal, but now we're gonna have to see how it plays out.
Because it's incredibly on brand. I mean, she knows what her brand is. She's sticking to it. I mean, the thing is, she may go to prison when her new movie with J-Lo comes out. So I
Yeah.
hope they have it at a premiere at the prison that she's at, maybe.
It's almost like Cardi doesn't need to worry about her brand because her brand is just being so authentically herself.
Right.
That
Yeah.
I don't feel like she has strategy beyond just like, I do what I want. And I view her as someone who's like so emotional.
Yeah,
Right.
I would
Like,
love
so-
for her to develop a strategy though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would really benefit her and her bank account and everything because she's in her 15 minutes right now and it's beautiful and she has all this money coming in, but as we've learned, the cash flow does stop. And if you're spending your money like this and you're maybe not paying your taxes and stuff, there's gonna be issues
Right.
down
Yeah.
the road.
Yeah,
So it just
it's
makes me
so
nervous.
sad that of all the fights she could have gotten in, she got into a fight over Offset.
I know.
Like,
Oh
I'm
my
like,
God,
don't
I
throw
know.
the ice bucket at the woman you think he's cheating on you with, one of the many women he's been cheating on you
Yes.
with. Like, throw it at him.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because he's your husband, he's not gonna press charges. He's just like, I'm so frustrated. I feel like I wish she had never, even met Offset. I
Oh,
feel
I
like
agree.
just together, he's kind of dragged down her brand. And he's constantly cheating on her.
Right.
I'm still upset that he stole her Grammy moment, that she had to bring him up there. I was just like, leave him
Yeah,
behind.
that sucks. Are they back together now?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
She was
for what?
dancing on him last night at the BET Awards. Also, he got a lot of press last night from the BET Awards because he can actually dance. He was doing all this break dance, isolating things, and people were really proud of him. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, if she goes
Whatever.
to jail, he's gonna basically date everyone else, which she's already doing and she's not locked up. So
Right.
now if she goes to jail because she was upset that he was cheating on her, it's just gonna be like, man, and there goes all your money in your life and everything.
Yeah, because she had to cancel some shows due to plastic surgery complications or recovering, and she was like, money is everything to me. I love making money. I'm losing millions, but health is wealth, which is true, Cardi. Good for you. But I think I was talking to Brittany about this. It kind of seems like Nicki Minaj should have just sat
Right.
back and just wait for this to play out. I think a lot Nicki lost the whole battle with Cardi because she engaged too much, and Cardi's you can't beat Cardi on social media. This is
No.
kind of the model. So Nicki, for all her faults or whatever, is an incredibly talented rapper, and it seems a very smart businesswoman. She's not having these $400,000 birthday parties or whatever, so it kind of seems like, and I want Cardi to succeed, I totally do. But if I was with Nicki's team, I'd be like, Nicki, just sit back and wait a little bit longer.
That's the thing. I think we all want Cardi B to succeed. Like you pointed out, she's so authentic and she is like a breath of fresh air so often because she's just like calling things out. Her music is catchy, but when you're watching somebody who just ascended to fame this quickly and has this much access and this much money and this is how they're using it, it just makes you nervous. It's like MC Hammer, no.
Right.
Oh my God. Oh my God, yeah. No, that's not good.
I love MC Hammer.
I do too.
Great song.
Yeah, so good. Great pants.
Can anyone else name another song by MC Hammer?
You
Too
got
legit.
to pray.
Too legit to quit.
Okay,
There's
so
that
you
one.
can.
Yeah.
And there's you got to pray just to make it today.
You know, I'm happy we did that because he'll get some royalties for us singing that. He needs the money.
I hope
You're
so.
welcome.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, he could sit right here between us. He could be a member of the show. Yeah, right here.
Actually, MC Hammer, please come to Build Brunch. We would love that.
That would be so cool. I love him so much.
Did you have the Hammer pants?
No,
I did.
really?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, they were Princess Jasmine pants.
Oh, and you rebranded it. No.
They were Princess Jasmine pants that I would do the Hammer dance in.
Wait, when did Aladdin come out?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just was crossing all genres at whatever time. I
I'm
was
trying
like
to get
7.
how old you were when this all happened.
It's
No,
not important.
Rooney's a time traveler. Yeah.
Not important.
You're just
We-
a time traveler.
You weren't alive then.
Yeah. In other news, fashion influencer Marissa Grossman has made headlines for a proposal that her fiancé supposedly curated for her. However, a report by The Atlantic suggests that the surprise engagement was pitched to brands months before it even began.
Oh my God, Instagram tricked us.
This is horrible. Influencers being inauthentic, how dare they? We trusted them. I am outraged. Hit the streets. I mean Twitter.
Yeah, it is kind of romantic that he asked these corporate sponsors for permission before he proposed, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, will you let me...
Mom, Dad, Macy's.
Macy's.
Yeah.
Can't take your daughter.
I think
Take
it's
her.
important to point out that she is a director of brand partnerships at Goop. So she knows how to connect with brands. Her entire life is connected with brands on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And at the top of this deck that was released, I guess accidentally, or some shady friend was like, I'm gonna put you on blast, it said, pleased to offer you a brand opportunity. So it was 100% used as an opportunity to bring brands in.
Great,
I don't know
really.
why they would even dispute that. Like, just claim it. Like, that's who you are.
She's pretending, or at least her fiance husband dude is pretending that she had no idea what was happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, I just put this deck together myself. And you're like, okay, cool.
Using all of her connections, probably.
Yeah, so weird. Apparently they didn't really get any new connections out of it.
Right.
So that was kind of a flop.
The only one was Flytographer, which if you've heard of that service, they sent them, I guess, 3 photographers to take these like candid photos.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Jade Trow, I don't know, she got a discount, but she was already friends with him. So I don't think as consumers we even really care. It's like, just be honest about it.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe they weren't trying to do brand connections, but were they getting paid for this?
No, they didn't have the ad hashtag on any of it, and so they actually don't, nobody knows, but it doesn't look like they were paid for it. I think they were just trying to get brands to sponsor them.
Right.
Wait, so if there is an ad here and they didn't hashtag ad, can we call 911 and get them arrested?
Call the cops.
Call
Yeah.
the cops.
Call the
Call the
cops.
Yeah, I just am like, I don't care about marriage.
Yeah.
I don't care about like when people I know get married and I'm like, fuck your hashtag. So like some influencer who I've never heard of before, like I really don't care.
Yeah, I've
really.
never heard of this woman before.
No, me neither. And I think like marriage is one thing. The engagement thing, I really don't care about. Like when people are going over the top on social media, I'm like, good for you. But I don't need to see like a 100 Insta story page, you know, where you're like
Right.
going through for a day looking at this woman's experience.
Yeah, if your Insta story is like Morse code,
Yeah.
it's too long.
Way
you know
too
what I
long.
mean? Like, I don't want to watch that. Like, one post might be nice if you got married, if you're engaged, sure. But now
Right.
people have the engagement
Yeah.
photo shoots.
The pho-
One post, there's a new law. One post per life event. You have a baby, one post.
But
Yes.
yes. That's a good. That's a good.
Wedding, one post.
Yeah, wedding, one post. Somebody you love died,
One post.
uno
One
post.
post.
Make
Yeah.
it count.
I guess, do they think that we care, or do they care?
Well,
Like,
I
I
what
think
is
they
it?
don't care if we care or not, because they're like, I have fans.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you're like, okay, we get it.
Do
Like
they
how
have
many?
fans?
I get this.
He has
is
like 160,000 followers or whatever. I think it went up to 190,000 when she started the Insta stories about her engagement.
Nothing.
Yeah,
So
isn't
she
it
actually gained
weird?
followers through this engagement story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? We live in, this is the hell we live in, so might as well for these people to make money off it. I mean,
But she's not making money.
we'll try to. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't
this is what she
know.
does for a living.
Well,
I don't.
good goop and luck.
Good, yeah.
Yeah. Wait,
It's
what?
the
Is there
goop
anything that we
lifestyle.
can do? Like, is there some pathetic ass thing that we can pull that'll get us to the sad 190K?
I mean, can we propose to ourselves?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if we were
Like,
like?
Carrie Bradshaw, like throw myself an engagement party, like just play the Lizzo soundtrack the entire time and make you guys bring me gifts.
So like a sponsored intervention,
Let's
maybe.
do that.
We could do an intervention.
What do you mean, Luann?
Yeah, exactly. I'm assuming I'd be the Luann of the group.
Are you
And
asking
see-
for an
Yeah,
intervention?
you just
You're the
yell.
only person who needs an
Yeah,
intervention.
We're like
yell at
talking
your
about
partner. You're
somebody's-
insufferable.
We're just talking about weddings, and Lucas is like, "You guys can intervene in my life." I'm like,
I need help.
and he's like, "I need help, guys. I need help." And we're like, "What?"
And
That
I'm
was
like,
just a
cool,
cry for
cool.
help.
Just shush and
Yeah.
play.
No one wants to help you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Oh, well, guys, now it's time for some Candid coffee. Each week, guys, we'll answer a question that comes from you, our viewers. The question can be about anything, so if you want us to answer something, tweet us at BuildBrunch. Now, let's get candid. Here's the question of the week, guys. Are you ready?
I'm not.
Okay. Andy from Ontario, Canada asks, what's the biggest lie your parents ever told you?
Canada.
Hi, Canada.
Hi, Canada. I have one that comes to mind immediately.
Okay.
So when I was learning about sex,
What's that?
I went to my mom and I was like asking about how babies were made. And my mom explained it all to me, and I have two sisters, and I was like, okay, so you've had sex 3 times.
Right.
And my mom was like,
That's it.
and I was just like, went to school and I was like, whenever my friends would tell me how many siblings I had, I was like, oh, so your parents only had sex twice? I was like,
Ooh, you have 5 siblings? Your parents
I
are
was
crazy.
like, whoa, your parents did it 5 times, you know? But looking back, it wasn't a lie. My mom was being honest. She has had it 3 times.
Yeah.
But Mom, I hope you've had it more than that.
Aw, that's very supportive.
That's so scary. Imagine if every time you had sex, a baby came out.
Ugh.
Well,
Woof.
that happens to some
Yeah,
people who
some
don't
people-
believe in contraception and stuff, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
I found out
No, that's not what happens. You don't get pregnant every time you have
sometimes.
sex.
Well, not every time, but sometimes.
I can't believe I have to tell you that, but that's just not how it works.
I didn't mean every time, but I meant a lot of times if you're not, like, women that can have, you know, what's that family with 27 children?
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
the Duggars.
Okay, yes, of course, not every single time. That's what I meant. But I
That's
meant
the
like,
whole point.
but I
is
meant
that
like if
that's
you.
just such a myth, is that you get pregnant every time. It's hard for a lot of women. God damn it, Lucas!
Now you have to go on Instagram
Now go
and you
say
have
something
to
in Instagram
apologize.
Live. Apologize
okay?
to the women.
Apologize.
So wait, while we're talking about contraception, I have to say that's maybe the only lie my mom ever told me is that like even if you're on birth control,
Right.
you could still get pregnant.
That's
which
true.
Is, which
That
is
true.
which is possible.
You guys, do you need sex
Yeah,
every
Will you let me
that's
finish?
100%
Will you let me
true.
finish?
You guys are such
Can
idiots.
I finish what I?
Right.
What I'm saying is, it was more of like a fear tactic for me to just like not have sex because it is like 96% effective. So there was just like this fear I had, even if I was on it, that I was going to get pregnant no matter what, which
Okay.
kept me from having sex.
We're
with
gonna have
very
a
long
good
time.
fear.
class.
No, that's a really good fear. Like babies are always trying to come out. Like and wherever you go.
Yeah.
Like babies are like an infestation. Like Cabbage Patch Kids, they grow right from cabbage. Like, they're coming out at all places. Like you just can't look at someone the wrong way because a baby might start growing.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. Like babies come out of nowhere. I'm not even kidding.
I can't wait for you to parent a child and tell them that.
And I know. I'll be like, what's happening? I can't wait to freak out a kid.
Wow.
No, I'm a really good babysitter.
You are.
I am. I'm
You
a really
really
good
are.
babysitter.
Remember the cat meatballs?
Okay. So one time I left some meatballs out and a diabetic cat swallowed them whole. But that wasn't me. That was because a kid was hanging off the refrigerator door. And I was trying to pull him down. I had one funeral. I arrived to this house and there was like a dead fish. They were like, let me show you your fish. And then I had to do an impromptu funeral for a fish that I didn't even know.
Oh.
Which is really hard. They were like, speak on this. And you're like, I don't know him.
Speak
He
on
was
this.
scaly. Like,
Speak on
I loved when he would blow bubbles.
yeah.
What about you guys? Lies that your parents told you? It's just kind of a hard one. My mom didn't really lie to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
That was funny. All you guys.
that your parents would be together forever.
Yeah, that was a lie. That was a good. That we love each other. And that wasn't your fault. That's what. That was. No, I'm kidding. That was dark. There was
So dark.
There's
That they love the family.
that we're gonna stay together for the kids. No, I think there was just go on this theme of like sex ed. I do remember asking. I don't remember this, but I was little. I asked my mom what tampons were, and she said just whenever you see them in a woman's purse, be very nice to her and give her a lot of help and make sure she's really just having a good time. My dad goes, that's not,
so nice.
Tell him what it actually is. That's all he needs to know. That's all he needs to know. That's all he needs to
Make
care.
sure she's having a good time.
Make sure she's like having fun. Like she's like, it's like just be nice to her. And I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's.
So I have no idea what they were for. They just if they were in a bag.
Do you still know?
Do we need to explain it now?
Well, remember I had
understand?
a girlfirl for 4.5 years,
Okay.
so I understand now.
Okay, good.
I got that. I got
And
that.
every time you guys had sex, she got pregnant.
Yeah, every time we
my God.
Because birth control doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so scary. And then you try to hide the baby under a pillow and you think it's gonna go away and it doesn't
Doesn't
go
go
away.
away.
And you're like, man.
They're still harassing me. These babies. I'm like, I gave you up. Like, stop.
They get cell phones so much younger now too. They can
know.
start harassing you
I know.
earlier on. It used to be 18.
Wait till they get
Everyone
lawyers.
watching this in Alabama is like, God damn it. Liberal, Connecticut, God damn it. Trump 2020, God damn it.
Alabama has more issues to deal with. And now it's time for today's guest. Jerry Mitchell is the director and choreographer of Kinky Boots, a record-breaking, feel-good hit Broadway musical, which can now be seen in movie theaters from June 25th through June 29th, thanks to Fathom Events. Here to tell us more is Jerry Mitchell.
This way. And Brittany. And
Welcome.
Shannon.
Yes,
Wow,
got
look
it.
at you go.
And
Thank
Jerry?
you. Yeah,
And
that's
Jerry.
it. Love is
And
love
Jerry.
right here. Oh, I got
Yes,
the, I
love
got the
is
good seat.
love.
Yeah,
Let's see your house.
We're so happy to have you here. And so I've never got to see Kinky Boots on Broadway, and I'm
What?
so upset about that.
my
I have. I have.
But I got to have a
Cinematographer-
screening of the film, and so I meant so much to me. I got to watch it this weekend and see the musical finally that I've been wanting to see for so long and never got to see in person. So I'm really happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And can you talk more about this experience, this film event that's happening, and what fans can expect?
Well, the show was a big hit on Broadway, and then it was a big hit in London, and then it was a big hit, and it's been everywhere in the world. I've been to Korea, Japan, Australia. It's taken me all around the world. It's an incredible story, and so they wanted to film it. And so we decided to film the London company before it closed on the West End. It's now on tour all over the UK and Scotland. And you want to know what the show's about?
No, I know what the show's about, but for fans maybe who don't know what Kinky
A
Boots is
simple
about.
story. Basically, there's a shoe factory. Charlie Price owns the shoe factory. He wants to move to London with his girlfriend, and his father suddenly dies, and he has to come back and take care of the factory. And what he learns is that his father was selling off the shoes. The factory was going bust. And he goes to London to try to get rid of some of the shoes and bumps into a drag queen who's being, beaten up, but she takes care of herself and knocks Charlie out with her boot. And then she complains about nobody makes boots that are strong enough to hold the weight of a man who's pretending to be a woman. And so Charlie produces the boots, saves the factory, and they work together to make the boots. She designs them, he makes them, and all's right with the world.
And this story, so this was based off a real life story. This was a film in the late '90s,
Yes.
and then Harvey Fierstein, Cyndi Lauper, everyone comes together and makes this musical. And now it feels like it's even more relevant than ever based on what's happening with Pose and with RuPaul's Drag Race and everything. So
Pose, Billy Porter, who starred in the original Broadway production and now is Pray Tell.
And is having another moment in his career.
Who I first hired when he was 19 years old.
Wow.
And he turned me down to go back to school. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
And then I hired him for Grease on Broadway, and he was fantastic. And then he sort of got behind the scenes. And then when the show happened, when we were writing it, I called him. Well, he called me, and I called him. And he said, I hear you're doing this. And I said, yes, I am, and I was going to call you. Are you available? You want to come read it? And he said, yeah. And he came and read it, and that was the
Killed it.
history.
Yeah, his rendition
Wow.
of Sex is in the Heels, whatever,
Yeah.
I love. That's my favorite song of the whole musical. It was
It's a
so
great
fun.
song.
And this film also has behind the scenes footage as well, right?
Yeah.
And I think which is a cool opportunity that we don't get to see a lot with Broadway plays, like behind the scenes of what happens. What can viewers expect to learn from this footage?
Well, I don't know what they're going to show at the actual.
Right.
I have no idea. I'll see it tomorrow night
really?
with everyone else. Fathomevents.com for tickets. But yeah, I haven't seen the final cut, so I'll tell you when I
knows?
see it. I'll
Yeah.
tell you when I see it.
I have seen the show on Broadway. I loved it. And, you know, beyond it being a story about shoes, there's so many profound, important issues and themes discussed in the musical, one of them being self-acceptance. And so can you talk about the importance of a show like this and releasing it during Pride Month?
There's a song in the show called I'm Not My Father's Son. And the first time I heard the song, I literally burst into tears. Cindy had written it. It was a very important scene in the film. It was a scene, but Lola runs into the bathroom because she's come dressed as a man because she's getting shit from it. Can I say that?
Yeah.
word?
Yes.
She's getting shit from everybody in the factory who's, you know, treating her. They don't know who she is, and they're treating her poorly. And she runs in the bathroom to hide, and Charlie comes into the bathroom, and they have this conversation that Cindy turned into a song about, you know, how we try to live up to the expectations of our fathers, and then suddenly it doesn't work out, and we have to accept who we are ourselves so we can go on, mend that, and move on with our lives and be proud of the person we've become when your parents aren't. And I think it hits a lot of people in a very strong way in the show. It's one of my favorite moments.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember that scene. And also just, it's a celebration as well. When you get to the end, it's just this beautiful story of inclusivity and community and the importance of that. So what sort of feedback do you get from people after they see it?
I was just in the middle of the Midwest. I was in St. Louis, Missouri this week, seeing it outdoors at 11,000 seats at the Muni Opera. The live production is playing this week. And I'm surrounded by people who I know voted for Donald Trump. And they're watching the show, and these drag queens come on stage, and they're all going like, and I'm just watching them accept something that they never would accept unless they got to the theater and saw this idea and saw this story being told and are being taken on a journey by the story and by the incredible music. So that's what I love about theater and what I love about Broadway is if the story is good, it can take people to places they would never go and maybe change their mind about the way they think about other people.
So powerful.
And the choreography for your show is so fun, so much fun and so upbeat. So like, what is the process like? Are you just like partying all the time and then you're like, yeah, let's just recreate this?
Let's throw it a high kick.
Well, as a choreographer and a director, I've been doing it for a while. So I go to the script always, to the story first. And Harvey had written a lot of conveyor belts delivering shoes. And you remember maybe, OK Go, the group OK Go, they did a dance on gym treadmills. And I thought, oh, what if we took those treadmills and put them 4 feet off the ground and had the actual cast get on the treadmills and start dancing around, celebrating the making of the first Kinky Boot. So I had this idea, and David Rockwell, who's my set designer for the show and many of my shows, Legally Blonde, Hairspray, he built me a treadmill. And it was, you know, up table height, and I got on it, and I fell off of it like 5 or 6 times flat on the ground. I thought, oh my God, the actors union will never let the actors get on it. I need handlebars or bars for safety, so I built 2 bars that I could put anywhere I wanted, took that to the next step, then decided where I wanted them, and then there were speed controls, and I said, this will never work. Actors changing speeds, they'll never be in sync, because I knew I needed more than 1 treadmill, so I chose 2 speeds, a slow speed to deliver the shoes, and a fast speed to walk to Cyndi Lauper's music and dance. Finally did that, sent it back to the shop. Literally, that went through 6 months of building this treadmill.
Wow.
Once I had it, I had to make 5. Then I loaded them back into a dance studio, called a bunch of guys together, got high heels on, got on the thing. No one fell off, and started to create the number. It took about 6 months to make the number.
Wow.
Whoa, I would have died.
But it was so much fun. It's what I love to do. I'm working on a new musical now, and I just finished that same process of getting a bunch of dancers in the room and just kind of like playing the music and see how it helps you tell the story and start to create the dance.
I love that. And when did you discover you were going to be a choreographer?
I probably was about 10 or 11 years old, and I used to go with my high school next door neighbor, Amy Firestone, to her baton and tap lessons. And I would sit in the audience and watch. I wasn't taking. I couldn't possibly take. Somebody find out I was gay. And then she'd come home and she wouldn't remember the routine, and I'd teach it to her.
Oh my
Just
God.
by
Like, were you
watching.
paying attention?
Just by watching, I
That's
would teach it to her.
amazing.
And then I choreographed in high school for the pom-pom girls. They needed some steps. I said, I'll give you some steps. I just kept teaching, and in college, and then I came here. I came to New York as a sophomore from Webster College in St. Louis, Missouri, and my first Broadway show was Brigadoon with Agnes DeMille. Agnes DeMille did Oklahoma originally, Rodeo, the ballet. Then I worked with Michael Bennett, who did a chorus line. I worked with Jerry Robbins, who did everything, from Fiddler on the Roof to West Side Story. And they were my teachers. They were choreographers who I studied under and learned from them. And so, yeah, I knew I was going to do it.
I love
So
that.
inspiring.
Yeah, that is. I really love the image of a young boy teaching everyone how to,
And
you
just
know,
soaking
do
I was
it
that.
in.
I was
Yeah.
that boy.
Yeah.
That young gay boy.
And Kinky Boots, I mean, anyone who knows New York and goes to the plays, they see Broadway shows come in and out.
Yeah.
So what is it like to be a part of a show that has such a successful run and you've seen it grow and now it's going to reach a larger audience?
I've had that happen to me twice. Hairspray was the first time.
Yeah.
Really, like it was a success on Broadway and then a success all over the world. And then Kinky Boots. Kinky Boots was more important for me personally because I was the director and choreographer, but also the story. I see the story change people's attitudes and change the way they think about people who like to put on a dress. And it makes it important. It really makes it important, and I'm proud of it. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned you were working on a new dance recently. What new projects can we expect from you? What's next for you?
The next musical I'm going to do, which I'll have to come back and really talk to you after it gets going, it's called Becoming Nancy. So it's a musical based, I didn't have anything to read on the plane, and I'd watched all the movies because I'd been going back and forth to London so many times working on Kinky Boots. So I read this article in a magazine, reading reviews of books, and I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. Got the book, last paperback, read it, couldn't put it down. I literally read it in the plane ride, called my lawyer, said, get me the rights to this book, I'm turning it into a musical. It's now 5 years later. It's called Becoming Nancy. It's 1979, East Dulwich, a 16-year-old boy auditions for the school musical Oliver, but he gets cast as Nancy because he's the only boy who has a voice who can sing the song. He gets cast, he starts to fall in love with the boy who gets cast as Bill Sykes, Maxie Boswell, who's the head soccer player. And it's how the teachers and parents feel and act about what's going on between these two boys. And why I fell in love with the story, because it's hilariously funny. He has posters in his bedroom of Sting, Debbie Harry, and Kate Bush and ABBA. And his mom, his aunt, his dad, and his drama teacher are dual roles. They play the adults, and they also play the pop stars.
Amazing.
So the posters come to life and start to talk with him and sing with him and interact with him.
fun.
But the reason I loved it is because with what's happening in the world and how we keep changing, talking about Pride Month, and most importantly, the trans community, which is just beginning to reveal itself to the general population, sort of like when I was a gay man and it came out, you know, in the 80s and 90s, nobody has an answer. Nobody has any knowledge. Nobody has any experience. And shouldn't adults be the ones who have that?
Yeah.
Shouldn't they be the educated ones who can help young people when they're feeling different, when they're feeling different than anyone else? Shouldn't the adults in the room be the ones who say, hey, it's okay, I got your back, here's what we're gonna do. So that's what made me love the story so much. And it's such an amazing story and score, and I'm really excited. We're gonna start it down at the Alliance in
Me too.
Atlanta, and we start in September.
That sounds wonderful.
It sounds so exciting. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, Jerry, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You have to come back.
Did you put my at Jammy Prod under my name?
I hope
You
so.
guys all had your
Yeah.
ats. I said, put the at Jammy
They
Prod.
better.
Just go to
We'll make it
Ad-
happen.
Jammy. Go to
you go.
fathomevents.com if you want tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look.
Yes.
Go.
on there. We did good.
And you can head to fathomevents.com to purchase tickets to see Kinky Boots, the musical, at a movie theater near you from June 25th through June 29th. That's all from us. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same table. Goodbye, everyone.